Alright, here's how you could make some feeding stations for outdoor cats. And, well, you have a problem with ants. I have a problem with red ants, which are the worst. They're very persistent. And I don't want to use chemicals near the cats or me. They're relentless. So, I came up with this and it's been working. You just take two inexpensive plastic food containers, get one larger than the other, and then use hot glue gun, and glue the smaller one inside the larger one. Maybe you could see that. And then take the lid from the larger one and put that over, and cut it out with a sharp serrated knife. It's the only way you can cut this plastic. Be careful, don't cut towards yourself. Alright, so cut away from you. And take the plastic lid, put it over the edge of something, of a table or something while you're cutting, so you can cut right through the plastic. You don't want to score the plastic, you just want to cut right through it with a serrated knife. Okay, to cut this lid out. And then, so I put that lid over the small one, the larger over the small, and then I made a rim with the small lid to finish it off real nice. Okay, that's how I did it. About a centimeter of height of liquid in there, and it's just pure vinegar. And I only use vinegar because it works on the ants, and it's not as offensive to the cat. By putting the lid, the large lid over it, like the way I did, that prevents the food from going into the vinegar and contaminating it all the time. It also helps the food stay in the bowl, because when it goes on the floor, then you get ants from that. Okay, so there's some other nuances here. Alright, so that's why I put the cover like that. It also keeps the smell away from the cat while he's eating, because cats don't like vinegar either. Alright, here the cat's eating from the bowls that I put together. Okay, and they do fine. They eat up all the food. They don't have to deal with the smell, and most of the food stays in the bowl. I attached the bowls with little hot glue to tiles, ceramic tiles, some extra tiles that we had around. So this way they don't tip over. That's important too. And I want to show you the company that of these containers, in particular models. Okay, so I got these at Dollar General. They're the economy brand, and you get 5 of the larger ones with the lids, and the same, you get 6 of the smaller ones with the lids. Here's the construction of the feeder. So the small container fits in the larger, and the small container is a little bit higher and smaller, so it creates a gap that the ants can cross. Okay, now you take the larger lid, place it over the smaller container, outline it with something, a marker, then cut out just a little bit inside of the outline, so that this will sit, when you're all done, this will sit right on top of the other, and it'll leave an opening there. Okay, and when you cut this, use a serrated blade like this one, alright, and put it over the edge when you cut, and then you poke through carefully and then cut inside of your outline. And don't cut towards yourself, turn it. Don't cut near you, cut away from you. Okay, but you got to be over an edge to saw away at it with a serrated blade. It's the only way to cut it. If you don't cut it carefully with a serrated blade like that, you might crack the plastic. Okay, now this, take your glue gun, once you do that, take your glue gun. I have an arrow here, okay, with the, I think these are called 1/2-inch sticks. And the arrow's pretty good for the money. And I had to make my own stand to break. Now you put glue all around the edge. You know, you don't have to overdo it. And then you take your larger lid and take the larger lid and press it onto that, and then you'll have the opening that you cut out. You'll be good there. Okay? Then you can take the whole thing, a little hot glue here, press it down nice and centered, and now you're pretty much done. But to give it a finished look and to also make the inner part a little higher, to help keep the food from spilling, I took the small lid and I glued that to the top, and it gave it a nice finished rim. You have to cut out the small lid all the way around the outer edge, and again with a serrated knife, and it comes out really clean. Glue that down like that, you have a finished product. Okay, here's the final part of the construction. You have your storage container, and then you have your insert and the larger container. Okay, so there's 3 containers involved here. So you have to buy more of these if you want to do it this way. And this is the best way to do it. Okay, because you have the separate storage container. Also, what we did here is we poked 4 holes inside of this container, and that way you could just pour your vinegar into this one, and it goes out into the reservoir. Otherwise, you have to try to use like a spray nozzle to spray into this very narrow gap here to get the vinegar in. So I took an awl and I went 1, 2, 3, 4, right near the bottom on the side though, not going down, but as close to the bottom as possible. I made 4 holes with the awl, nice size holes with the awl. Alright, so I poured, now what I did was I poured my liquid in like this, okay, and then it goes into the reservoir from the central insert. Okay, now you could let that go down, right? And then afterwards you just put this in and with the food, okay? And when you take it out, it'll be dry because this will sit about a 1/2 inch above the bottom of the whole assembly. Okay, now of course the food now you have a lot of choices. You can leave it outside all day, dry food. You can cover it at some point, or if you're using wet food, you only want to leave it out there for a little short period of time. Then you could store the leftover wet food in the fridge, put it back in. If you have leftovers, put them right into this, keep them in the fridge, bring them out. Okay, bring this back, you can wash it, whatever you want. This stays pretty clean. And that's the whole story. Alright, take care.